Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Oh, we're going for win 45 as Lazarus. That would be weird, right? What if I just switched it up? Played exclusively as Lazarus from now on. EPTZ A9L6. It's like Moulin Rouge, Lady Marmalade. EPTZ A9L6. Voulez-vous coucher? I know that's not the next line in that phrase, but anyway. As a bomber, we killed Gluttony, but did not get HP. But honestly, I can't complain too hard about this start. It's not, you know, mega chaos, immediately getting the mark, empty vessel, every bomb synergy on planet Earth. But it's pretty good. It's like, it's above average, I would say. And even if it's slightly below average, who cares, you know? Slightly below average is not in the kind of environment where I'd be like, okay, we're fine to die. We also have Bob's Curse here. Bob's Curse is not a good item for us to have. Like, it doesn't make much of a meaningful improvement, but it's not like it's useless. It's just not an extreme improvement over the other possibilities. Anyway, like, having one red heart is extremely important here. I'm thankful for that. Were it not for that, might be a little less happy with it, but you know, it feels fine. We can grow with this. And actually, I respect, and the thing that I think a lot of people forget about Eden runs is that they really do give you an appreciation for spacebar items that otherwise would not be that useful. Like, whenever you get Empty Vessel, not Empty Vessel, what am I talking about? Doctor's Remote as a, as Isaac, you're like, okay, who gives a shit? That's a reroll. We started with the D6. We got the keys to the kingdom. We started with, you know, Jace Vern's Prodigy here, and then you're trying to give me, you know, Jace Bellerin from Shadows over Innistrad. It's a huge downgrade. Apologies, as always, for the Magic the Gathering reference, but hopefully it puts it into perspective for some of you out there. I know it would for me. I mean, it's not good, but we'll get it, and we'll use our bomb to get it, so we save Doctor's Remote for the boss, maybe, and let's see what's going on down here. I'm hoping for a Tinted Rock, as you might expect. Might as well do this before we finish the room. But when you're playing as Eden and you start with other items, you start to realize, hey, these items aren't that bad. They're just, they're not very good once you get into, like, the super late game. And there's a lot of validity to that, I think. That, you know, you're like, okay, this item sucks. Well, it does suck if you get it when you have a better spacebar item later in the game, which you almost always will for an item like this. But if you start with it, way better to have Doctor's Remote than nothing else, man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved a D6 and put up a Doc's Remote. Ooh, bop, bop. Why go for the Adam Duritz, Michelle Branch version instead of the Joni Mitchell version? I'd like to go for the superior version. I'm just kidding. Joni Mitchell, a Canadian pop princess. I loved her work in Fleetwood Mac. I'm joking. That's Stevie Nicks. Nick Stevenson. Let's not take that. Let's take that pill. Okay, no worries. And this is a lot slower than our last one, but I am not sweating it. Getting one Spirit Heart on this floor feels good. Larry Jr. is gonna go up in smoke here. All right, Doctor's Remote has a very light synergy with Bob's Rotten Head. By Bob's Rotten Head, I mean Bob's Curse. It does do a little poison damage, so that's a nice added touch, but our tiers are still, you know, I mean, you say like next level. Our tiers are still next level. What's last level? Because our tiers are last level. And I'm not talking about Super Mario Bros. 2 as it was released in Japan and then later released in North America as Super Mario Bros. 2 The Last Levels, because that's actually Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels, and I would never misspeak, because to be honest with you, and not just to be a hipster, that's probably my favorite of the first 3 Super Mario games. And then we'll throw in 4. We'll throw in the American Super Mario Bros. As well. I don't know why. Super Mario 3, I can't deny, is an amazing game. But I've always had a soft spot for Lost Levels, man. And by always, I mean since I was a young adult. And I played a lot of it in college, during years that were formative for me. So, I don't really want the poop, to be honest with you. I will check the shop, and we didn't really donate much on the last run, but I want to see how much they're going to give me here. It may be plausible. No. I was going to say it may be plausible for us to get Blue Candle, and Blue Candle would really give us an offensive kind of kicker here, but Car Battery would also be cool. I would not be anti-car battery in this situation. Because we could get double... I think it would give us double bombs from Dr. Zermatt. I don't see why it wouldn't. And that would actually turn this into a pretty functional item, I think. Again, apologies if I sound a little hoarse as well. If I sound a little... That's my horse impression. It sounded a lot more like the Joker. But, why are you being so serious? My voice is running a little ragged. I don't think I'm going to get ill from PAX, but, you know, standing on the show floor, paving paradise and putting up a parking lot. No, just shouting like, when's your game going to come out? Does it have online multiplayer? You know, it wears on you. It wears on you, dude. So car battery is also pretty dope with Guppy's head, which I think is probably a better item than Doctor's remote, but honestly, a new appreciation for Doctor's remote on the early floors here. I do want to, you know, peek around here. We're actually a little ahead of schedule due to the smallness of this floor. Not that size is everything. Sometimes it's the motion of the... Well, I was going to say, like, the motion of the ocean, but then I tried to work in, like, a pun related to Isaac, and it just doesn't work, so... It puts the motion of the ocean on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. See, like, there's some ham-fisted potential references there, but nothing as elegant as I would like. That I can find, at least. You know what? This may be a blessing in disguise, that we've explored so far and found nothing. Perhaps we can get... another Guppy item in here. I would settle, by the way, for like a single bomb. I'm not going to be picky. One bomb at this point gives us a decent chance at getting 15 cents, either directly by blowing up our donation machine, of course, or, you know, we blow up a rock that allows us to get to that chest and shoot those fires, and maybe the rock finds a second secret room, but if we find, you know, 2 bombs inside of the chest, yada, yada, yada. We're here, though. We got the bomb. So let's put this plan into action. This is slightly dangerous, but not dangerous enough to make me disinterested. Because we can get to 6 plays without taking any of our spirit hearts. And that's where you get some payout. And he is paid out with Contract from Below, which I think is pretty good. Very good for free. And now, you know, all the pieces are falling into place here, because we can come down into our boss trap room, and we'll open that up and take some HP and bombs back, and... You know what? I'm extremely tempted, and I'm actually just going to use the Fool card to make this happen. And then we're gonna get... I think we're gonna get... It's tough. Okay, you know what? We're gonna stick to first principles here. We're gonna get car battery, because it'll make every spacebar item better, as opposed to just getting blue candle, which it destroys Guppy's... Well, it doesn't... You know what I mean. It's destructive towards Guppy's head. And then I figured, let's take the guaranteed spirit heart instead of taking chances. Let's get the hell out of here, way behind schedule now. But now we're generating 6 flies per Guppy's head charge, and we've passively improved our run instead of actively improving our run, which I think is a smarter decision. Alrighty, Curse of the Labyrinth. Good stuff. It feels good to be back on like a semi-tactical run, although, if I'm being honest, is actually still pretty easy, and the game's been pretty nice to us. And this is something I've talked about, and I talked about it a bit with Cobalt at PAX as well, Cobalt Streak. If you're not familiar, and I always try to, you know, be inclusive with this instead of just being like, one of the things I hate about, like, subcultures, and Isaac is like a subculture at this point, which sounds like an insult, but it is not, actually, like, literally. I hate when people, like... You know, like, I'm really into this, it's really inclusive, everybody's a big fan, so we had a ARG down at the TGA last week, you know, like, they immediately are like, I love this hobby because everyone's really nice, and then we make this dialogue and all these acronyms that make things a little bit more exclusive, and you gotta go learn the dialogue. Oh, this guy doesn't even know what a, you know, PSY is, you know. I'm just spelling out in plain English, man, okay? And make it nice for everybody. So me and Cobalt Streak and Kate were having lunch, and we were talking about Isaac, as you might expect. Cobalt Streak being a Twitch streamer of enormous, vast audience size for Isaac. And we were just talking, and we seem to have, like, roughly the same opinion on the difficulty of the game. It's just like, I hope Afterbirth Plus finds a non-destructive way to make the game more difficult while still making it more fun as well. Like, I think Isaac does not really have a fun problem, but I would love if it was a little harder. The fact that I can play fairly I mean, I've got a ton of time in the game. It's not like I just picked it up yesterday, but the fact that I can play fairly suboptimally and still win, you know, maybe 49 out of 50 runs, but not on average. I can win like 24 out of 25 runs on average lately. And it's pretty fucking easy, man. Like, that's a very wide margin for error, which is good. And it makes me feel like I'm an amazing player of the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. But I hope they find a way to make it, and maybe this is what modding will do as well, but I hope they find a way to make it, oh, that was bad, to make it more difficult without compromising what makes it fun. Like, oftentimes, nerfs to fun items are destructive, and they end up compromising the end goal of the game for me, which is enjoyment. By the way, where the fuck is our damage? There exists, I'm sure, ways to make it happen, and I trust people who design and create games for a living to do so, and I hope they find a way to do it. It's not like I'm at risk of being like, well, fuck this game, but still, I do wish... that was such bad damage. That's like my #1 hope for Afterbirth Plus. I'm not wishing for like extra features, although those are awesome, and of course we will see those. I'm wishing for like the core of the game to get a meaningful challenge that still maintains like the enjoyment and the sense of kind of like improving a run that you get as the game exists right now. So, you know, too long did not watch. I'm a little baby bitch boy, and I want the game to punish me and make me call it daddy and come up with a safe word. Safe word is chrysanthemum. Maggie's bow, it's okay. That's like the start of a rap. Maggie's bow, it's okay. This is not a rap song anyway. Double the health, I like to sing out loud, and it makes me feel real proud. Maggie's bow's an item that can save your run, but it's passive only, so it's not much fun. Double your HP. Maggie's bow, please. Hey, Maggie's bow, please. One of these days, I hold out this ridiculous hope that one day I will just open my mouth and know how to sing, and I'll be like, oh, I'll take the damage for Deadeye. Take damage for Deadeye. You know, it's more of like an Iron Maiden. But one of these days I'm gonna open my mouth and just, in my dreams, know how to sing. And I'll be like, oh, I just didn't know how to make those noises with my mouth. Now that I know how to make those noises, I see that singing is easy, and I actually have the voice of an angel that can make me weak. Deadeye, by the way, huge item for us here. Great way for us to actually have the ability to deal some damage to things, which is something that, in case you've watched me do that champion greedhead room, has kind of been a little bit of a sore spot for us so far. I mean, this is all good, but I do like more options, more than the other thing in there, which was BFF. But BFF is still really good. Hopefully we'll get Small Rock out of this. Well, we got a bomb and a Spirit Heart, which is also good, but we're kind of stuck now. I don't see how we can continue our infinite combo zoo deck here. Anyway. Gertie Jr., not a problem. We're going to be about on schedule for Boss Rush, but not super attached to the idea. A range plus tiers upgrade is very nice, and carrying Queen is actually pretty annoying, but because we have decent shot speed, decent damage, and decent speed in general, we can actually get through this somewhat easily, but this can be a real problem. Good deal with the devil here, please. No deal with the devil. That's a bummer, but we do have enough to go back and buy BFF. Now, BFF is actually useless for us right now, but in the future, that could change. I don't think I need the Spirit Heart. I'm not paying 5 cents for 5 flies. 1 penny per fly is not a bad deal if you need it, but it's not what we're looking for right here. We're going a little bit more extreme. So this floor should contain a deal with the devil if there is a benevolent god in the universe that supports the things that we do and, fundamentally believes that we're, his children and, he wants us to be happy and stuff like that, but I'm not really that much of a nihilist especially now that I realize life has meaning with this Holy Mantle pickup. Now we just need an orbital, like Sack Dagger plus BFF plus Holy Mantle means we just, you know, let the bodies hit the floor. We are turned into the Lawnmower Man, but not the weird, you know, VR movie that I think was based on like a Stephen King novel. But instead, we are a man who is made of lawnmower parts. You know, we are going to chew people up. But we don't have the necessary ingredients yet. Not quite the necessary ingredients. But I'm not really much of a nihilist, you know. I actually spend pretty much 0% of my life thinking about, you know, is there a meaning to life and stuff like that. I know it's, wait, am I stealing this from the new Louis C.K. comedy special? I did watch that a couple days ago where I was doing dishes, and I vaguely remember him talking about, you know, the meaning of life or what am I going to do with my life is like a super first world problem. But, you know, I worry more about other things. I worry about, like, hey, like, there's a car in the other lane. It'd be pretty fucked up if he just decided to, you know, end my life by steering his car into my lane, and then you get the deep shudder of, like, man, I could totally die at any moment here. Like, that's what I trouble myself thinking about, is that at any moment, the stupidity of somebody else could end up erasing my life as well. And that's way more troubling to me than the, you know, potential idea that there's nothing out there. It's hard to believe that there's nobody out there. Where's my Anthony Kiedis? It's hard to believe that we're all alone. That's more like Mike Patton. He sees my good deeds and he gifts me with guppy. Edmund, please give me one more guppy item, please. I don't ever wanna feel like that's Tammy's head. See, I envy the people who can. Fuck this. I'm taking Guppy's head. Tammy's head does not seem to do. Oh, wait. It totally does the things I want it to do. Disregard. Why does it seem like other people just know how to sing? Like, I've encountered very few people with a singing voice as bad as mine. And I have to think that there's just some error in technique. That it's not just, like, genetically, I've got a voice that sounds like I'm, you know, gargling hot gravel sometimes. Like, that's a good quality to have in a broadcaster, but not in a singer. You know, I'm very envious of people that can just sing, like, Happy Birthday on cue. I'm not going to throw anybody in specific under the bus except for one of my close friends, but Michael A. Fox is the 0 out of 10 level singer that I am as well. But it seems like other people just know how to sing. How does that happen? Like, that's incredible to me. If you know how to sing, good on you. I'm jealous, but I'm not like, you know, fuck that guy. I'm just like, let me be honest with you. Sometimes it takes me a while to, like, pick up on things that other people pick up on. I think I'm an intelligent person, but I'm intelligent in specific ways. I'm not very intuitive on, like, physical things, stuff like that. But when it comes to, like, verbal intelligence, I'm actually pretty strong. And, oh, we have 2 Steam sales. Why not a third? Now things are expensive? Guess I'm an idiot. We're only on Necropolis 1, by the way, so we will probably miss out on Boss Rush here. Maybe. We'll see. Either way, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob. Like, let me put it this way. If you, like, when it comes to SAT tests, people are like, you know, apple is to banana as, you know, blank is to corn husk. I'm like, what the, you know, it's confusing at first, but then I sit down and think about it, I can come up with a reasoning, and more often than not, I usually end up, you know, being on the right track with stuff like that. But if you were like, hey, can you tighten the straps on my backpack? I'd be like, I'm sorry, that's a riddle of the Sphinx that this young mind has not yet saw fit to comprehend. Doesn't make sense to me. What's up with these, like, double straps that go through a little weird, like, plastic carabiner type thing? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you, but I am a child in an adult's body, and I'm not suited for adult life. So maybe there's an element of that. Like, could that be? Like, I haven't figured out how to orient my mouth and other oral, you know, analogous organs here to create a situation where I can, you know, make good sounds come out of my mouth. That was dumb of me to use my my last remaining bomb here. Is that possible? Because, like, singing is just musical intelligence plus linguistic intelligence to some extent. Like, I mean, when I think to music, I think to, like, the Shakespeare of our time. Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. forget what she says after that, but she's about to hit the city. Well, let's try this on for size then. I think we are going to narrowly miss boss rush. Might be for the best, because I don't really want to fight. Oh, this could be a 9 lives right here, boys! It is not. Justice card, which does not give us another card. I think I should have known that. Either way, you know, I feel like there's something fundamentally that I was missing in my life. Like, I didn't get a singing education. I mean, we sang the national anthem in kindergarten, at least. I think we stopped sometime in, like, the 2nd grade. We sang the national anthem. You know why we sang the national anthem? People are like, that's fucked up. Make you sing the national anthem of the country. We're fucking 4 years old. It doesn't matter what you do in school. Until, like, the age of 10, you're not doing anything in school that matters. At 10... you learn your times tables, maybe. This is where all the internet Albert Einsteins come out of the woodwork. Actually, I learned the times tables at 7 3/4. You know, good for you. I hope you're working at CERN now, putting that superior intellect to good use. Okay, so we've re-rolled our whole run, and I'm happy to do so. It seems like we've gotten, obviously Continuum is a big one here. Seems like we still have Deadeye. We got number 1, really, really fast rate of fire. Like, that is indisputable. We are not going to get boss rush. We have some kind of poison tears or maybe like a fruitcake situation going on. We got 2 syringes. We have Curse of the Tower. Okay, that's where it gets fucked up. But we also generated spiders. Did those spiders come from the bombs? I'm guessing yes, they did. Let's grab this. And you know what? We got a lot of money. Let's donate. I've been milking the donation machine pretty hard here. I ain't been missing you at all. I'm missing you. But I have been missing the knowledge of how to sing. And I mean, by the way, I appreciate the goodwill. People are going to be like, hey, NL, I'll teach you. Not necessary. I'm a great friend to bring to karaoke because everybody at karaoke wants to not be the worst singer. And I'm content to go to karaoke and be the worst singer. Doesn't bother me. There have been times that I have said this before in videos, but, you know, I lived in Korea for a while. South Korea. Everyone goes, here's a little tip. If somebody tells you they went to Korea, you go, South Korea or North Korea? You don't have to ask that question. Because if it was North Korea, they'd be like, holy shit, I went to North Korea. It was weird. If someone says I live in Korea, they live in South Korea, probably. Or they're the most, like, modest, extreme tourist of all time. Oh yeah, I went to Korea. Which one? Oh, I always forget. I was referring to the communist dictatorship, not the one that is basically like an Asian America. Anyway. In karaoke, or in Korea, karaoke is an extremely common pastime among all ages. And I mean that sincerely. Not just adults of a drinking age. The elderly go to karaoke. Children go to karaoke. It's called noraebang. Bong means room. Nore means singing. Singing room. Ergo, karaoke. And I would actually, on occasion, you know, I would go a lot, actually, because people would go, and I'd hang out. I got no problem singing a couple songs. But people would be like, why don't you sing? Why don't you sing? And I'd be like, I'm actually, like, really bad. And then they'd be like, oh, you don't have to be shy, you know, we're all having fun here. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm not on confident. I mean, I am. I'm confident in my inability. I'm not, this isn't like I'm gonna open my mouth and I'm like the next Adele Dazeem or something like that, you know? This is like, I'm a bad singer. And then they'd be like, come on, you gotta do it. And I sing like, yo, in the day we sweated out on the street of a runaway American dream. And then they'd be, okay, you know what? Maybe you don't have to actually sing. Like, it's just unpleasant. It can be funny. But the raps, man, if they could get some more raps on the karaoke machines, there's no doubt. You need a fife dog for your Tribe Called Quest rap? I'm on the point, Tip. What the fuck is this? Like, I've now gone off the deep end. This is, like, marked, but or Beelzebub, I should say. But also Pyromaniac, so I can't hurt myself with bombs. So that's actually pretty sick. I think we're safe. But to re-roll your run twice on one run is, I mean, it's a new era of insanity. But our oh my god, we got Holy Light as well. Our damage is good. Mark still sucks. Still hate that item with a burning passion. But the fact that we basically cannot kill ourselves is very positive. Now you might say, why don't you take this bad boy down to the Hush fight? You didn't make it to boss rush, you owe us. Go down to the Hush fight. Never gonna happen. Never in a million years are we gonna do that. This is one of the rare times I will take Book of Sin. We got no spacebar item. And the reason is, even though I'm confident in our ability to like endlessly heal ourselves, it seems like a nightmare just to get it done. Because I don't know how our damage is. Maybe it's fine, maybe it's shitty, but it just seems like this is your non-traditional bullshit. I don't want to make my life any harder than I already have by re-rolling it twice sort of run. But I mean, this damage is good. Let's call it what it is here. Let's call it what you want. I mean, this is a very musical episode. I won't deny that. I don't know why. It's like I haven't blown out my voice enough at the convention center this weekend. Let's take it to the next level. I also just realized, and you're probably noticing this as well, our technology is extraordinarily strong, which I will admit gives me pause and makes me think that maybe we would like to actually fight Hush. Because it turns out our Ipecac shots are just a nuisance. We should really be rocking these technology marked shots as much as possible. Like, these are crushing it. It's nice to hit the enemy, but not necessary to hit the enemy. We also have the relic, so it's huge for our HP purposes, but our technology shots are the real bargain here. Excuse me. I'd like to go through the, thank you. Okay. Another spirit heart. I mean, I saw it, but I'm gonna be myself and say that I don't need it, and we'll move along here. I'm not going to open that golden chest, but that one's not laziness. That one is being prudent because we need our chests, or we need our keys for the chest, I should say. Excuse me, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. So I had a classic young man moment there. I thought I was invincible. I'm not invincible. Okay, there's placenta. I'm almost invincible, but I'm not quite invincible. It's the difference between being, you know, Iron Man and being Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is in a great place in his life, but he's not invincible. Iron Man is invincible. And as I've talked about this before, but I don't know if I've ever gotten a straight answer. Is there a good reason why Iron Man doesn't just give the other Avengers the Iron Man suit? And I do, when I say a good reason, I mean it in a way that's going to annoy some people. Because I know, oh, well, he doesn't trust people with this technology except for Don Cheadle, but... You know, I mean, like, not the bullshit reason in the comic books, but also, like, an actual reason. Because, I mean, when you think about, like, Avengers Age of Ultron, I think that, I'm not going to spoil anything necessarily, but the spoiler window on, you know, one of the biggest movies of 2015 has to be up at this point. But, or closing in on being up, at least. I don't understand. He goes, like, all these... freaking ends of the earth to protect the universe, and hey, let's, you know, let's do something that's never been done before. Let's create like some superhuman defensive creatures here that save the world. Hey, Tony, I'm Captain America. Any chance I can get an Iron Man suit, become like Captain Iron Man? No, sorry, I don't trust you. But here's what I'm gonna do, something that's never been done before, and then Black Widow, just keep doing your spy shit. Like, okay, maybe you say Captain America, he's like already as strong as Iron Man. He doesn't need the suit. Yo, Black Widow could really use that suit. I understand that she works in subterfuge and espionage and stuff like that, but there's sometimes they get into fistfights, and she's got some sweet gymnastics moves. You know, she knows Krav Maga, and that's cool and all that, but wouldn't it be better if she was doing Krav Maga in the fucking Iron Man suit? I find it hard to believe that, given the option to have an Iron Man suit, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow would be like, you know what? I'm good. Just give me the high-heeled boots. I don't need the adamantium artificial intelligence-controlled Hellfire missile launcher that makes you immune to, you know, intergalactic falls of several miles in altitude. Just give me the high-heeled boots. That's all I need. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But you know, I don't mean to be offensive when I say, is there a real reason? But sometimes in the comic books, you know, they're like, well, hey, Jack Kirby, why wouldn't they just give Professor X, an adamantium wheelchair. Oh, well, he's allergic. As a kid, he had a bad adamantium accident at a smelter in the... He can't even stand the sight of it. Like, I understand, you know? And it's like, I like things for which you have to suspend your disbelief as well. I'm not saying, oh, it's a shitty hobby as a result. You know, you're talking to a guy who spends too much money on, you know, cardboard cards and then plays again. I play a hangerback walker and I swing at your zombie with my artificial, you know, ornithopter. You get the idea. I'm just saying, from a film perspective, like, as a nerd, I can be like, no worries, dude. Yeah, only Iron Man has the Iron Man suit. Obviously, Tony Stark doesn't trust anybody else with that incredible technology. But as, like, a movie-going person, I'm like, hold up. Wouldn't Natasha Romanoff be in a much better position if she had access to Tony Stark's Iron Man suit? He's got it, yeah. Okay, the other thing is at the end of Iron Man 3, that question is maybe answered, but is it, though? Because he is Tony Stark. He can just make more. Okay. Well, fuck it, dude. Take the mulligan. Take the anemic, even though it's not very good. The mulligan is going to be dope, though. 1 in 6 hits will generate, or 1 in 6 shots will generate a fly. 1 in 6 hits. 1 in 6 things will generate a fly. And these flies are going to be disgusting. I recognize as well that I immediately stopped using my laser tears. Once I said my laser tears were awesome. This is basically just because we've reached a point where, you know, we're at like that Bill Gates level of power. $10 million? $100 million? I don't know. Like, it means more to me to have a grilled cheese for dinner tonight than it does to make another $1 million. Like, that's where we're at. You think that's true? Like, I mean, if I were Bill Gates, you got a net worth of, well, like, you know, $10 billion. Something like, that's probably not strictly accurate, but it's up there, right? He'd be like, man, I could make like $1 million, or I could take some time out of my day and go get a grilled cheese. You go for the grilled cheese. Maybe not every time, but you probably go for the grilled cheese sometimes, wouldn't you? If you were Bill Gates, would you pay $1 million for a grilled cheese? I think the answer would be like, if I really wanted one. And I don't even think it has to be a good grilled cheese. I just think you have to have a mighty hankering. Maybe he's very fiscally responsible. I've heard that, you know, he's being, you know, very sensible about his wealth when it comes to his kids, giving them just enough money to do whatever they want, but not enough money so that they can do nothing. You know, stave off a little bit of that affluenza. At the same time, though, if you were like Bill Gates' daughter, or son for that matter, you'd probably be pretty pissed when you were like 15, right? You'd be like, my dad he's a multi-billionaire. He's one of the like top 3 richest men in the world. So is he gonna buy you a Porsche? You'd be like, nah, he just got me a GMC Suburban. What a dick. But later in life, that'll probably serve them well. Or maybe they were completely nice, you know, even as they were growing up as well. I'm just saying, you know, as a teenager, you don't always see things in perspective. I would have been overjoyed if my parents had purchased me a vehicle. I probably wouldn't have. I would have been like, what do I need a car for? But I was also sort of a weird kid. But I imagine, you know, it works on like a sense of scale. Like, who you are as a teenager is not who you are in life. I'm not saying his kids are shitty. Not at all. I'm just saying that if I was raised by a billionaire, I might be a shitty teenager. Anyway, all you billionaire teens out there, let me know on teen Twitter. I don't know what that is. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.